Hi, I'm Kay Groft, and this is Hannah Strickland.
Hello.
She's going to be interviewing me today on my immigrating process into Sweden.
Where are you from?
I'm from California.
Where in Sweden did you immigrate, and why did you decide to immigrate to Sweden?
I moved to Varberg. It's on the west coast of Sweden. If you're thinking about where Stockholm is, it's about 3.5 hours west of that. I moved here because of min flickvän, which is girlfriend in Swedish. You and I met in Italy and decided to travel together for 9 months, working for shelter and food, and traveled and did the whole thing together. So it's been a crazy ride, and we decided to come to Sweden because we thought it would be better for us.
Are you the first person in your family to immigrate to a new country?
I believe I am. I mean, if we're not going to go back too many generations of people coming from Europe to America, yeah, I'm the first.
What has the process of immigrating and assimilating into Swedish culture been like?
I think they actually do a pretty good job here of helping like immigrants
How come?
assimilate. Well, basically because there's some mandatory things that we have to kind of take care of. One of them, the major one, is SFE, which is Swedish for immigrants, and that's through Folken University.
Yeah.
And so the first couple of months when I first immigrated was you have to go through this process of learning the language.
Tycker du att det är svårt med språket?
Nej, jag är bättre nu. Jag kan prata lite svenska, så, men jag kan inte prata så mycket svenska. But yeah, for the most part, it's not so big of a problem.
Have you dealt with any hardships while living in Sweden?
I can't say that I've dealt with any hardships while being in Sweden. The process was a bit arduous, and there was a lot of meticulousness that we had to go through that we weren't expecting. I mean, it took a year and a half before I was even able to go to the embassy in Washington, D.C. to have a face-to-face conversation before I was even able to come to the country officially on a Samba visa. There was refugees, like a huge influx of refugees coming in.
Yeah.
And you and I both like took a step back and were like, okay, like our situation isn't as important as someone trying to, you know, flee for safety and finding a better place. And that's kind of what they've done, really, is because again, I was amongst some of the refugees that were in SFE and like talking with them and all. I was just like, you know, and again, Sweden has done such a great job of bringing them in and having them assimilate pretty smoothly, from what I've heard and what I've talked to with some of my friends that I met through SFE.
Have you dealt with any racism?
One derogatory term that I've heard a few times, mostly joking, but there are some times when I'm like, oh,
Jänkare.
Jänkare, absolutely. So Jänkare, for those who aren't Swedish, is like basically a derogatory. It's like Yankee, basically, and it's a bit derogatory towards Americans. So I've only heard that a few times in a like serious standpoint.
No, I think a lot of older people like can get frustrated and they will say jävla jänkare.
Yeah, jävla jänkare.
So and that's like bloody Yankee.
Yeah.
Which is
also ironic because everyone in Europe wears Yankees hats, which is infuriating coming from San Francisco. So, go Giants.
Let's go Giants.
Yeah.
If you decided to have children in Sweden, do you think Sweden would be a good place for a second generation immigrant to grow up?
Yeah, I think children super benefit, which I think is you know, makes a lot. It's common sense. But here in Sweden, it's an automatic. You know, it's like kids get food at school, and it's not a question. Again, free healthcare. There's so much here where it's a huge benefit.
How has anti-Asian hate crimes affected you?
It hasn't affected me personally. And in Sweden, there's not, well, at least in our town, there's not a lot of diversity. So I haven't seen any anti-Asian hate, and I haven't heard anything. I asked, reached out to my friends who are, you know, Chinese or Vietnamese, and I've asked them if anything has happened to them, and most of them have said like, you know, no, and some of them have had like verbal abuse, you know, but nothing physical, luckily. And so yeah, I mean, it's just there's certain people in my friend group who have been affected by it.
Well, I'm happy that you're living in Sweden. Okay.
Me too.
I hope you'll learn more Swedish.
Yes, absolutely. And I thank your country for letting me be here.
Well, we're very happy to have you in this country.